Okay. Okay. We live. All right. So I have a pretty significant message that Spirit gave me for someone with regard to your love life. I need you to come on in, have a seat. This is a pretty significant message. There's a lot of pieces and a lot of components to this, but this message is going to be served it's going to serve as confirmation for someone. It's going to serve as also a message that inspiring in a way to kind of keep you going. But we just gonna jump right in. This message Spirit gave to me, and spoke it through me yesterday, and it took me a minute to pull all the pieces together. So I actually had to write it down because it's juicy. So come on in, sit down, take a load off, and maybe get you a glass of wine or something, because this is a really beautiful message. So anyway, let me just get right to it. Right. Spirit said you can't just be with anybody. This message is going to be for my single people as well as for those who may be coupled up. Most specifically, though, it's for the singles. This is for you who have been single for a good amount of time already. You've been in this place of wondering, when is it going to happen? When when am I going to meet someone? But this is the thing though. Even though you're in that space of wondering and questioning when you're going to meet somebody, you're not pressed about it. It's not something that you are pressed about. You are happily being single, to be honest with you. You're good. You have found comfort and peace in your own space. You found an enjoyment of time with yourself and by yourself. And this is why Spirit is acknowledging that although it's good for you not to be pressed. It's good for you to be in your own, to find enjoyment in your own space. That is necessary. That was necessary. But you still acknowledge that you want to be with, you want somebody. You want somebody nice to spend time with, someone who's worthy of you, and someone who's worthy of you giving your time and energy to. Um, this time that you've been by yourself was divinely orchestrated. Your life has been orchestrated like this intentionally. Possibly, I'm thinking you may have been someone who put a lot of emphasis on meeting someone or being with someone. You may have been with someone who idolized relationships, or you yourself was someone who idolized relationships. And when you were when you were in a relationship, you lost yourself. You would pour so much into whatever had your energy that you forgot about yourself. You would sacrifice yourself even for the sake of the relationship. I go so far as to even say that. So because you have idolized relationships, and I say this with love, you would engage in situations purposely, knowingly, with full knowing that deep down it was no good for you. You knew, even while being in these situations, and I'm going to say situationships because that's what they really were. While you were in these situationships, you knew that this was not for you. And this part probably applies to those of you who are not single. Maybe you're in a relationship and this is something that's coming to terms with you, coming to your reality, like you're accepting this now, like this really ain't it for me. It's cute and all, but it doesn't fulfill me. It's not satisfying. So you knew you knew, and maybe even for those where it applies, take it as it resonates, that it wasn't and it is not in alignment. You knew, whether you wanted to admit it out loud or not, that you were settling for less than what you know you deserve. Maybe you didn't really know about alignment, but you knew that something about what you were engaging in and giving yourself to, it didn't feel like it was 100, 1000% it. I feel like you might have tried to force that feeling, but deep down, again, you knew it wasn't it, and you did whatever it was that you could do to make it work. Literally, you were forcing a fit. You were forcing yourself to stay in a situation for the sake of being in one. But to hold on to that relationship or any relationship, even though you knew that it wasn't really for you, was you staying in it out of comfort, familiarity, or fear of being alone. And as we know today, when you know better, you do better. You're no longer in that vibration, though. You're no longer in the vibration of lack. You don't resonate with fear, and you've been made much more aware of how you have sabotaged yourself and even the ways that you've betrayed yourself. You recognize that you were there because you wanted what you wanted, even though what you wanted wasn't satisfying. Maybe you were just tired. You had gotten to a point of just being tired of being alone, and that's fair. That is fair. We as humans, we are not meant to be by ourselves. We're meant to have community, companionship. We're meant to be in companionship and way in relationships where we can express ourselves, but also express love fully. Believe it or not, though, those relationships, each and every one of them was necessary. They played a part in how you got to where you are today. They played a part in who you have become today. They may not have been your ideal, but those relationships, every single one that you found yourself in, it shaped who you are and how you look at relationships today, for the good and for the bad. They have reshaped how you function and how you show up in relationships now. And I'm going to go even so far as to say that outside of that, it's taught those relationships have taught you a lot about yourself. Um, I'm gonna take a shot in the in the dark and say that last relationship that you were in, that last one did it. Right before, if you're single, right before you got single, that last relationship was the one that, again, I say this gently, it was the one that broke you open. It was the one that made you say, okay, enough is enough, and you took a long hard look at how you how you what you attract, how you are, how you behave, how you function, all of that stuff. It made you sit down and take a long hard look and say, okay, something got to change. Feel like you may have declared for yourself that you are no longer dealing with less than what you deserve. You chose you. You spoke that over yourself that you were going to choose you, and you have continually been choosing you ever since. You may have said something like, in choosing you, you might have said something like, I don't want half of nothing. I don't want halfway nothing. I don't want to be a secret. I'm not going to be private is one thing, but secret is different. I don't want no pretend love. I don't want fake love. I don't want anything that doesn't allow me to fully be myself. I don't want nothing and no one that is not prepared to love me out loud. No more self-sacrificing, no more betrayal. If it ain't all for me or all about me in their eyes, I don't want it. If he or she is not going to love me in the way that I desire and deserve to be loved, they can keep it. I feel like that was your catalyst. That was the catalyst to your awakening to yourself. your growth and your maturity. That was the thing that caused you to stop talking about how much you're worth and talking about your value and actually start living how you see yourself. You living even beyond how you see yourself. Living fully, truly, and embodying your worth and your value. You've been exhibiting your value in how you show up. That last relationship, that put the seal on the cap. That was the one that held the mirror to your face with an LED light and made you look at yourself so that you could see how you attracted, that situation towards yourself. And maybe not just that one, but it made you evaluate all of your relationships and how you have been showing up, because how you show up is, it kind of reflects to you how what you're attracting. It reflects to you your vibration and where you are, even your maturity level. And it really is about vibration and maturity and discernment and self-trust. So now you're like, yeah, no, I ain't settling no more. I'm done with that. If what I want doesn't give me what I desire, if the person I want doesn't give me what I desire, they're not going to treat me in the way that I know that I deserve to be treated, I'm good without it. And that's where that peace with being by yourself has come from, because you no longer look at relationships as if they have to make you whole. You no longer look at relationships like they are bringing more to like, you don't need the relationship to make you who you are. You have found yourself. You don't look at relationships as you don't look at yourself as being half and looking for yourself in the other half of yourself in someone else. You know that you are whole all by yourself. When you chose you, that was the catalyst to your awakening, to your being able to see that. And you choosing yourself was such a big and bold move. And I commend you on that, because not everybody is going to make such a bold move. Not everybody is going to step out of comfort in the way that you did. Again, kudos to you. That wasn't easy. I know it wasn't easy. I've been there myself. I know it wasn't easy. But one bold move is all it takes to start the wheel moving with you choosing yourself continually. Choosing yourself once gives you the confidence to continue doing it. You made it, you did it. And although it may have taken you some time to recover from that, because again, it was huge and may have been something that you're not used to doing. So it may have taken you some time to really sit and recover from that, but it was monumental. I want you to know that. It was monumental, because perhaps you may not have been choosing you. Again, this might have been something that you did for the very first time. And now you're doing it. Now you're doing it with more comfort, because deep down you knew that if you did it, you would have been subscribing to be miserable. You would have been a full participant in your own misery. Now let that sit. Hmm. Seeing your future self still as uncomfortable as you were then, or even more so, allowed you to muster up the courage and the bravery. And I'm feeling like you just, it helped you to get to that place. It opened your eyes so that you can see yourself more clearly. It helped you to see how magnificently you love, and even how, with all the love that you give, you were able to also recognize how you have not been loved in return, how the relationships that you've been in have not been reciprocal. That last relationship, whichever one that I am for you, you know what it was for you. But that last relationship helped you to see and evaluate really all of your relationships. It helped you to put every single relationship that you have ever had, with any and every single person. It helped you put those relationships in perspective. I'm talking friends, I'm talking family, or otherwise. It helped you to put those relationships in perspective. It helped you to evaluate and look at all of your relationships and the reciprocity or lack thereof within. That last one was the one that removed the veil from your eye. You took off the rose colored glasses. Matter of fact, I don't know if you've ever seen what's that guy? Um every time he tries something, like he's viral. Every time he tries something, he takes his glasses off and boom, like that's what I see happening. Like you took the rose colored glasses off, yo, you smashed them joints and boom, them joints is in the recycling bin right now. Because once you see it, you can't unsee it. You're no longer going through life looking at relationships, any of your relationships, you're no longer looking at those relationships from the lens of painting it to be what you want it to be. You can't unsee it. And there is no coming back from that. Once you see it, you cannot unsee it. You could not go back to the old person that you were before those relationships or before that relationship. You couldn't go back to it even if you tried. You could not return back to that version of yourself even if you wanted to. Regardless, like you might know that it might have been comfortable then, but it is no longer comfortable to be awakened and put yourself in a situation that is requiring you to sleep and you woke. Bye. Bye. The person that you were and the person that you are no longer live in the same world. That is literally the timeline. Like you've literally shifted. You've quantum leaped from one old time period into a new. The person that you were, let me say it again, and the person that you are do not live in the same world. They don't live on the same frequency. They do not live in the same vibration. And that's a beautiful thing. It is an absolutely wonderful thing for you because you've leveled up. It shows just how much you have grown and how much you've matured. It also shows that you no longer romanticize relationships from a delusional or disillusioned place. Big up to you. Big up to you. You deserve that. Because and because of that, because of how you've grown spiritually and being able to see yourself, you could never return to a place that you've outgrown. You'll notice that the people even that you would gravitate to when you were in that lower vibrational state, excuse me, they don't appeal to you or resonate with you anymore. Truth be told, I'm gonna be real with it. They're not on your level, and they weren't on your level then. Okay, they weren't on your level then, but now, man, you sitting on the mountaintop. They looking up at you like, damn, yo, how you get all the way up there? How they? That's how unreachable you are. You will notice that. Okay, I'm sorry, all these distractions, my computer going off, my phone, my watch, everything's going off. Um, They're not on your level and you are no longer on theirs, but don't be fooled. They're still attracted to you because your light is so much brighter now. Again, you know, I'm hearing that, I think it is in the Bible. I'm hearing that scripture like, a house built on the hill cannot be hidden. Yeah, you that house on the hill. You are home. Ooh. And this part about home, remember this part. Home on the hill. Remember that part, home. That word. Because that's gonna come up later. Um, you look even more appealing to them. You the mansion on the hill. You're more appealing now than you were then. And so yeah, they Mercury retrograde gonna have them coming back. Let me just tell you this. You gonna get some of them coming back even though when we get out of Mercury retrograde, because you have literally glow glown. You have grown up, you have grown up, you have blossomed so much right before their very eyes. Where you are, because of who you are and how you move in life now, when anyone comes towards you, them or anyone new, your response is going to be different. If you even respond at all, because truly you might not even respond. You might, and then I don't mean this in a cocky, nasty kind of way, but you might be get to the point of recognizing that they don't even deserve your time. Like, you don't want to send no energy towards nothing that is not serving or deserving of you. You're standing so tall in your energy right now. Like, you're standing so tall in the I know who I am energy. That is the truth, your truth. You're standing so tall in that you're unreachable by anyone who may have had contact with you. They all they have right now is the memory. All they have is the memory. Spirit said, I got something. I got someone special for you because you're super special to me. And just for you, this person who's coming in is the person you were made for and they were made for you. This person is in alignment with you and your purpose. They are and will be a helpmate to you. You two will continue to grow and thrive together. They believe they've also experienced the kind of stuff that you've experienced, the kind of changes and the growth and catalytic openings and so forth. They've experienced these things too. And that is a part of what is going to make you guys so uniquely fitted for one another because you've gone through similar journeys. You are going to understand each other on such a deep soul level. Like, it's going to be unreal how much you get each other. You're going to feel like you can communicate with each other without the use of words. You know how you can give a look and it is understood all of the context behind that look? That's gonna be y'all. That's gonna be y'all. There will be a way that you guys communicate with one another where words won't even be necessary. Of course, you're going to talk, but the level of your conversation is going to be so unlike any other conversations you've ever had. I feel like they're going to be soul stirring. They're going to be so affirming and opening for you. Like, you will both realize it's like having a dual moment of clarity where you see without a doubt why it didn't work with anyone else. And I know that's so cliche, but it's so true. You're going to recognize and realize why every other relationship failed. And I feel like it's going to highlight for you, almost like bullet points, why other relationships failed. This new relationship is going to be so profound. It's going to open you up in new ways, in the ways that other relationships couldn't. I'm being reminded of that scripture of where the Bible talks about, the scripture itself talks about where two or more are gathered, that I'm in the midst. And so this is in relation to this relationship. Spirit, God, source, universe is the orchestrator behind this. And so, of course, spirit, God, source, universe is going to be in the midst of you. But there's another scripture that speaks about two coming together and having or making more progress than one. Ecclesiastes 4 9 through 12. I'm going to read it because there's so much meat in there. So, verse 9 says, two are better than one because they have a good reward for their labor. And so, what this is saying is that this person that's coming in for you is going to, they're going to, you guys are going to build together. The hands, you guys, the labor that you have done separately has gotten you up. So it's gotten you far. It's gotten you far. But the labor that you two put together, when you come together, how much further you're going to go because now you're working together. You're going to build something together, something new to where you won't feel like all of your laboring is vain. You won't feel like no matter how hard you work, that you can't make an impact. You're going to see the fruit of your labor. Two can go further than one because they're going to pull their load, not just in the relationship, but in all respects. You will not have to tarry alone anymore. And I say tarry, and I know that meant, backroom prayer, backroom, just getting in there, getting in the spirit. And oh, they're going to be such a spiritual helpmate to you. Like I can see the two of you coming together and being a powerful force. Powerful. Verse 10 says, for if they fall, one will lift up his companion, but woe to him who is alone when he falls, for he has no one to help him up. A lot of you have been doing this by yourself. You've been doing things by yourself, and it's been a burden. It's been hard. You know, it's been taxing. And for some of you who have been facing, an impossible situation, and I spoke about this in another video, this is a person that is going to come in to help you up. This is a part of that miracle, that miraculous turnaround for you. Because it says, for if they fall, one will lift up his companion. You guys are going to be helpmates, as I said, for one another. This is the person that you're going to be able to lean on. They're going to give back to you. They're going to show you. And you're they're going to show you how you have been giving so much of yourself to everybody. They're going to show you help. They're going to help you with receiving because they're going to give to you endlessly. And it is their pleasure to give to you. Just as it is your pleasure to give to others, it is going to be their pleasure to give to you. They're going to create a space and an environment for you where you can be comfortable receiving. Verse 11 says, two lie down together, they will keep warm. But how can one be warm alone? Whew. Let me just tell you, as I was bringing this together, I got the vision of a bed on fire. Okay, so just telling you, this person is going to light your bed on fire. Ring my bell. They gonna ring it, ring it, ring it. Oh my goodness. Sorry about that interruption, y'all. But yeah, they gonna ring your confirmation. They gonna ring all your bells. Y'all heard all them bells? They gonna ring all your bells, baby. I am seeing a lot of passion, a lot of chemistry between the two of you. If you ever had the thought of wondering if you could still muster that internal, because maybe it's been some time. Maybe it's been some time, baby, baby. They gonna show you that fire was only a flicker, as you laid in wait for the moment when you were put before one another. When I tell you, I'm seeing like a car dashboard, like all lit up. It's lit up. It's ringing. It is blinking. Like my beams on. You feel me? Man, this person is going to wake you up, wake it up, and they're gonna turn that fire on, right? Oh my God, I'm hearing like prepare to be sick of me, girl, girl, boy. They gonna chase you. They ain't gonna get enough of you, and you know what's funny? Because you're not gonna get enough of them either. That's the beautiful part about it. Y'all gonna be, you're not gonna be able to get. You won't get full of this person now. You should, and I say this to couples all the time, it is important that you maintain your individuality in the respect of being able to still enjoy the things that you like doing. Like you're at this place now that you enjoy having time to yourself, and that your person is going to respect that. They're going to respect that you need time to yourself as they need time to yourself. There's going to be so much mutual understanding in this relationship. Whew. Let me come back to this is why I had to write all of this down because I need to stay on track. Verse 12 of the Ecclesiastes 4 and 12 says, though one may be overpowered by another, two can withstand him. So any battles that you guys face, you're going to be able to tackle it as individuals if need be, but also as a couple. And I think even as individuals, because you are committed and dedicated and devoted to one another, it's still like you're going to give each other the strength. He's going to give you strength, she's going to give you strength. Whatever it is, your partner is going to, they're going to energize you and help in that level, in your confidence being boosted, your strength being boosted, your bravery, your courage being boosted. Y'all bond is going to be so strong that anything coming against it will be pummeled and destroyed. I just heard, let no man put asunder what God has brought together. And let me just say this, the only failure of this relationship is going to be from your own efforts. I don't really see that, but I have to say it because it did come up. It's not going to be because of some outside intrusions or the efforts of other people. Any failure that comes about in this relationship is going to be because of, the onus is going to fall in your lap, not on anybody else. Again, I don't see that happening, but it came up, so I'm going to mention it. This will be the relationship that feels like home. It finally feels like home, that you have found home within one another. And this is what you both have been waiting for. So you're going to fight for it. This person is not going to let you slip through their fingers. They're going to fight for you in every sense of the word. A threefold cord is not easily broken. And that's the cord that I was talking about in a different video when I said the more you listen to your intuition and follow the guidance, the stronger that cord becomes, the tether that becomes between you and your higher self, between you and great spirit. Again, a threefold cord is not easily broken. You, your partner, and the connection you both have to the creator, that's the cord. That is the cord that is wound together. They're going to love you in such a deep and profound way. Like, I see an equal sign in my mind. And that's, to me, it's speaking about reciprocity. There's going to be so much fairness and equalness and consideration of one another, that this is that life-changing love that people wait a lifetime for. You will understand without a shadow of a doubt why this couldn't have come about with anyone else. And beyond that, though, right, you're going to understand why you were brought together, why you have been led to one another, why, what makes this love so much different from anything else you've experienced. This is a love of a lifetime, but also a love from a lifetime. And as I was digesting that, I heard from a prior lifetime. So this, when we talk about soulmates, this is what we're like. You guys have known each other in other lifetimes, and not like, this is not like a twin flame situation. It's not going to be like a karmic tie situation. All of that stuff is behind you. You've learned the lessons from the toxic situations, the karmic situations. You've learned the lessons, and believe it or not, you've resolved, both of you have actually resolved karmic hindrances that had prevented you from coming together sooner. You're going to be like mirrors to one another, but again, not like twin flames, more like you will be meeting you. You are finally going to get to experience your love being returned to you in the way that you have given it. The way that you've never received it before. You're going to see just how wonderful this person is going to reflect to you, just how wonderful your love actually is. This person is going to be your energetic match. This is a soul contract being fulfilled. It's the person you were meant to be with, lifetime after lifetime. And the rest of this lifetime is for y'all to come together and to continue building and growing, continue living, continue loving, and experiencing life together. All of the good now, the abundance that life has for you, the prosperity. You know, when what is aligned comes together, I see, okay, so let me just paint the picture of what I'm seeing. I'm seeing a round room, right? And in the middle of this round room, I see two individuals. And as they come towards each other and they begin to embrace and they lock eyes and they lock arms, what happens is this like explosion of energy comes out, and every door of this room, it's so many doors, every door of this room bursts open. So there's going to be so many opportunities that open for the both of you because these two divine souls have met. This person is going to show you love that you haven't received from family, from friends, and shown up from prior relationships. It's going to change how you actually see love moving forward. And there is a confidence that will come. I spoke about it just a minute ago. There's a confidence that's going to come from this love too. When when you see how this love is given to you, how it shows up so easily and so freely, and you recognize it, you'll recognize there'll be a moment where you're going to stop and be like, wow, so this is, I'm receiving what I have given, and this is what it's like to love me. Being able to see yourself in another person is going to give you, it's going to erase all of the doubts that you have ever had about, "Well, was it me? Did I do this wrong? Did I do this?" Like, it's going to erase all of the doubts that you have ever had about yourself. You'll be able to see where you have been doubting yourself and see through, you're going to see yourself through the lens, through another person. You're going to be looking dead at yourself in a different body. You're going to experience yourself in a different body. I wish I really had the words to describe just how grand that this love is. But it's going to be that type of love that you used to fantasize about. You might have stopped fantasizing about it because you run into so many doggone dead ends. This ain't that. This ain't that. This love is going to bring romance back into your life. This is big time love. Big time love, big time love. The other part of that message that spirit was talking to me about is that your person, let me see. Let me give me a moment. Let me just get to what I wrote, and we can go off script. Not scripted, but you know. The second part of the message about your person is that you can't just, I left a word out. Okay, sorry about that. I wish I knew how to edit. I don't. So we just gonna leave that in there. Um, it's about your power and you being able to recognize your own power and seeing that in another person. They're gonna reflect back to you so deeply, like so many aspects of yourself that you have not either not been able to see or you're just not acknowledging. Now that, oh, okay, so you standing in choosing you helped you own your power, and so now that you own your own power, you own your magic, you own your divinity, and with that knowing, you are able to very clearly see now that just not anybody, you can't be, you are not just anybody. So because you are not just anybody, you can't be with just anybody. You, girl, I want to say girl because I'm used to talking to women, but Bookie Boo, you are not the average Joe. And I think you've discovered that. You see that now. You can't just be with anybody. You can't. Like whoever you're with, whoever you end up with has to be on your level. You know, the Bible speaks about being equally yoked. This is that to the max. This is your equally yoked partner coming in. And a little bit about them. A little bit about them. This is God didn't give me a whole lot. Spirit didn't give me a whole lot, but I'm gonna just share with you what Spirit did give me about them is that they could be in business for themselves or have multiple businesses of their own. They are for sure self-made. They've gone through an awakening, a spiritual awakening, just as you have, and they recognize for themselves that they can't just be with anybody. So, whomever you are, whomever you're with, it has to be, they have to be able to match you. They have to be on your level because no longer are the days where you would settle for somebody just for the sake of being with someone. No longer are the days that you would lay with someone just for the sheer pleasure of it because we're going to be true. We're going to be real. It wasn't all pleasurable. So I say pleasure lightly. It wasn't all pleasurable. It left a lot to be desired. Being real, it left a lot to be desired. Those prior relationships left a lot to be desired. Again, this is not that. I promise you on everything I love, this is not that. This is your match in every aspect of life. Physically, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, and intellectually rather. Sorry, my dog, she's so scary. I love her so much, but she's so scary. If you have ever prayed or been manifesting your person, then get ready because the two of you are magnetically being drawn together. And spirit is going to align it where, like, I know this message is for me too. So, spirit is not giving me a whole lot of information like how it's going to happen. It's going to happen in the least expected way. Like, you cannot plan this happening. You can't plan this. You just gotta know that it's coming, and when it arrives, special delivery. When it arrives, it's yours. It's for you. It is what you are meant to have. It's been crafted. He, she, they have been crafted especially for you, and this is the time for it to happen. It's interesting too because I just said like the last bit of this is that they're going to match you energetically, and you know how you can be, so even though you guys are going to be such an energetic match, you know how sometimes you need the fire lit up under you, they're going to light the fire. You know how sometimes the fire is raging too hot, they're going to be able to settle you down, you know yeah. This is your perfect match coming in. I say perfect, but we know ain't nothing perfect. This is not to say that your relationship won't still take some work and some effort, but it will not be as you're not going to have to expend as much energy trying to make it work, or like I said previously, forcing a fit. This is not that. Rest assured that this is not that. This is a person who has gone through the weather. They've weathered the storms. They have been able to tap into themselves. They have done the work. They can see themselves. They are emotionally mature. They are emotionally available. They are physically available. And they're going to see you for who you are, at your core, at your soul level. They're going to love your bad parts. We ain't even gonna say bad, but they gonna love the part, they gonna love you through the whatever work that still needs to be done. And I say this from them, but remember they're a mirror, so you're also going to be giving that back to them. Also going to be giving that back to them. So I hope this message is one that you do feel encouraged and inspired and prepared. This message is to prepare you. It's also to give you the hope that not soon, not too long, Soon, soon come. Not too long. Soon come. Okay? All right. I love you and I'm excited. I'm excited. I hope you're excited too. This gonna be that one. This is it's that epic. It's going to be epic. Epic. Okay? Epic. I mean, man, you gonna have some haters. Stay prayed up, stay prayered up, stay affirming yourself. Excuse me. Stay what is the word I want to say? Continue to speaking life over yourself. Also continue, you're protected, spiritually because you and God, y'all like that. So you are protected, but don't stop speaking your protection over yourself and affirming yourself. This is so good. This is so good. I'm so excited for you. So I hope that again that this message resonates. I hope you receive it in love and um yeah, that's what I got for you. It was a long message. I had to write all of that down. So it was crazy. I mean, it was just pouring into me. And there's no way with how it poured into me, there's no way I could have remembered all of that. I'd have been all over the place, here, there, and everywhere else. So I had to write things down because the way my mind worked, the messages just be flooding in. Sometimes I get two, three messages at a time. Spirit be speaking, and I can't keep track of it all. So I gotta write it all down. I gotta write it down. So I do hope that you enjoyed it and come back and see me again. There's more to come. And I'm not saying that begrudgingly. I'm not saying it as I dread it. I love that spirit is speaking to me so freely and that I am able to hear it so freely. It's so wonderful. It's a wonderful place over here. So, all right, y'all. I love you and I'll see you again soon.